Okay, so on today's notes, we are going to talk about compound inequalities. So let's just talk about what is a compound inequality, and it's simply just two or more inequalities graphed together on the same number line. So let's go ahead and write that down. So we have two or more inequalities I think I spelled that wrong, sorry. Graphed together on the same number line. Okay, so you're going to, on all of these, you're going to see two different graphs on the same number line. So here's an example of the graph. Now we have two types that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about ors or ands. And those two words, if you even think about it in English, mean something totally different. If I say, I'm going to buy me a pop or a candy bar, okay, or pop or a candy bar, pop and a candy bar. And you see how those two words mean something totally different in the sentence on there. So it's the same way with math. The word and or mean two totally different things. So if you look at this graph, we have two of them. So on the left, we would have x is less than or equal to a -4. And on the right, we would have x is greater than 1. Now, the word or goes in there. So or means it's in either, okay? In either. Okay, so we could say it's less than -4 or it's greater. It does not have to be both. Okay, so or does not have to be in both. Okay, just one or the other. Okay, interval notation on this one would be, so everything less than 4, that would be from a -infinity to 4 bracket, and then we use the letter or symbol as a U. It means union. Okay, so the U means union. I'll write that here in just a second. And then on the other side, we're going to have a parenthesis at 1 going to a positive infinity. Okay, so let's write there. So U means union. So think of it like a marriage. I'm taking the answers that are on the left and I'm taking the answers that are on the right and I'm putting them together. Just like if you had a marriage, you would take all of his stuff and all of her stuff and put them together. Set notation would just be just like your inequality notation again, except for you do the x such that x is less than or equal to a -4 or x is greater than 1. Okay? So or means union. I cannot stress that enough. Or means you're union the two answers together. I'm joining the two answers. And sometimes I put that word there too, join the two answers. So several words there that mean it. So let's look at what we're going to have. So first off, you're just going to have two equations you're going to have to solve. So those are going to be your normal equations that we're solving. So first one, we're going to -4. 3x is less than or equal to 6. Divide by 6. X is less than or equal to 2. Next one over, we're going to divide by 5. So this is all our normal, nothing different, 9. So when I go to my graph, I'm going to have a closed circle on 2. And that, and that arrow is going to go to the left, okay? So everything less than or equal to 2, okay? And on the right, we're going to have 9, open, how about that? And to the right, okay? So if I write this in interval notation, it would go from a -infinity to 2, bracket because it's included, union with parenthesis 9 to positive infinity. okay? So I'll run through another one. We'll do number 3. So minus 8, negative 3y less than or equal to a negative 15. Now I'm dividing by a negative, so remember what the rule is there. I have to flip the sign. Okay? Or, and I didn't put that word, but we should always put the word or in there. Plus 3, 10y less than or equal to a negative 33. Now I'm dividing by a positive. I don't flip the sign. Oh, sorry, I can't add. There we go, 30. Okay, so y is less than or equal to a negative 3. Okay, let's go graph it. So I have y is greater than or equal to 5. Y is less than or equal to a negative 3. Okay, and if you notice, the majority of the time, now, every now and then they'll give you something a little bit weird. They'll give you a special case, and we'll talk about that. But most of the time when we're actually doing these problems, we're going to do them with absolute values. Your graphs will look like this. So let's go ahead and do interval notation. So on the left, I have from a negative infinity to negative 3. And that should be a bracket. Union, bracket, 5 to positive infinity. See if I can clean that up just a hair here. Okay. So most of these, again, that you're going to be seeing is going to look this way. Okay? So you'll just